Shalom, shalom, it's the brother Kadash. I want to start off by giving our praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders and all the big brothers in this truth. This is going to be called Our Lord is Coming, and this is just to get faith, just to build up brother's spirit. I named the channel Israelite Covenant Oil, but it wasn't because I was trying to start a group, kind of like how GMS has a group. It wasn't because I was trying to start a group. It was just because I needed a name for the YouTube, and it was just a random name I made because Israelite Covenant maybe was taken. I couldn't use that name, so I had to put oil at the end of it. So it was just random, right? But it ended up all coming full circle, and this is how you know it was of the Spirit, because when you think about it, if you go to Matthew chapter 25, right, in the 10 virgins, some that 5 that had oil and the 5 that didn't, that's the oil. That's where the oil part comes from. So when it says Israelite covenant, the covenant goes back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Our hearts being circumcised and that marriage with the Lord, right? And what is my videos doing? What is our videos doing? It's giving you oil based on the covenant with the Lord. And we are the Israelites. So, that's just a little cool backstory, because people don't really know me. I'll pop up on YouTube, you will see me on YouTube and stuff like that, but that don't mean that you really know me. A lot of people will know my page or see me because I've seen that dude or I've seen some of his videos, but they don't know me, so they may be thinking like I just came out of nowhere. So I just like to give a little backstory of me. Pretty much came into the truth just like any other brother came into the truth. I live in the Midwest, in a very small city, but it's actually the capital of Illinois, which is Springfield, Illinois. It's like the home of Abraham Lincoln or some shit like that. But so I wasn't near any major camps. Actually, in my city, Springfield, there isn't a GMS camp or a One West camp that I know of. Maybe in the past there was, but so I took that on my back to say, well, I'm gonna be a so-called One West or Hebrew Israelite camp here in Springfield. But I didn't start off that way. I was going down to a camp in St. Louis. I moved to St. Louis for about a year, and I went to a camp for about a year in St. Louis, an actual GMS camp down in St. Louis for about a year. And then after that, I moved back here, and then I just kind of, whatever I learned, whatever I picked up, whatever from the videos of the apostles and the elders I picked up, I just started doing camp, here, and just continue to learn it. And then I've been out here doing it for probably like a year and a half. So as far as going on the highways and byways, I've been out there for probably like 2 years and a half altogether. But I was in the truth maybe probably 2 years before that. But my job, which is like transportation, I was over the road and stuff like that. But I knew I was a Hebrew Israelite, and I was watching the videos and taking the steps towards, keeping the law, statutes. So this is a little backstory. But the thing is, with this lesson is that our Lord is coming. Our Lord is coming. We got to keep the faith. We got to keep going, man. We got to keep this spirit, man. A lot of people can't see it. A lot of people don't understand why we're doing the things that we're doing, but we understand. This little thing of ours, which is going to turn to a great thing of ours. Our Lord is coming. We just have to wait upon it. We just got to continue praying upon it. This is going to happen. You see all the signs around you. You see the famines. You see the hyperinflation coming. You see everybody bugging out. You see the rumors of wars. Our Lord is not going to forsake us. Everything that we've been teaching, everything we've been prophesying of is going to come. You see the MOTB coming. You see them starting to censor our channels even more, and then we can't even talk about the MOTB. You're seeing these things, and all these things is happening for a reason. That's because our Lord is coming. All these things, Jacob's trouble, a trouble like never before. A time of trouble like never before. All these things is leading up to Yahweh Shai returning. World War III is all leading up to us being persecuted, a great insurrection on those that fear the Lord. All this is going to lead up into the Lord coming. So instead of falling away when you see these things, following out the truth when you see these things coming, it should boost your faith more. We know we have to go through these things in order to make it to the kingdom of heaven. Through great tribulation, we must enter the kingdom of heaven. So we understand these things have to happen. So when times get harder, this is just to give these brothers this faith and this oil. Don't give it up, man. Go harder, because the worse and worse things get, that means we're getting closer and closer to our Lord coming, actually getting to meet our Lord and being saved by our Lord. We be those men, just like the woman having contractions. The worse and worse those contractions come, the closer and closer you're getting to meeting your baby coming. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. We have to go through these times. We're not praying for times to get better, for America economy to bounce back, for America to get better. We're praying for the end. We're praying for the destruction of this free Babylon. We're praying for the famines. We're praying for the wars. We're praying for all these things to happen because we know that through the Bible, these things must happen in order for us to meet our Lord, in order for our Lord to come back, because our Lord is, bound by his word. So he said all these things are going to happen. All these things are going to happen, and the Lord is going to give vengeance. He said he's coming back for two things: redemption, which is saving the elect, redeeming the elect back to him, and vengeance against our enemies. Obadiah chapter 1, Isaiah 34. He's coming back for that vengeance. So this is Hebrews chapter 6. I'm going to start at verse 9, right? And it says, "But beloved, we are persuaded better things of you, and things that accompany salvation, though we thus speak." And this is what it's all about, right? Our Lord coming back. One of the major prophecies is him saving the elect. And the Lord is going to do it in he's going to save the elect in a grand fashion, a grand statement, a finale, whatever word or phrase you want to use. That's how the Lord is going to save the elect. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 says, let me get it real quick so I don't butcher it, because I've been doing that lately. But, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 in the Apocrypha, if I can remember exactly what it says, the strangeness of their salvation. There it is. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, just straight to the point, verse 2. "When they see it, they should be troubled with terrible fear and should be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for." So the strangeness of our salvation, because what's going to be strange about it? The strangeness is going to be, you're going to have a thing called UFOs, but in the Bible it's called the chariots of Israel, the chariots of fire, the chariots of the Lord, right? You're going to see these chariots, or what the world calls UFOs, beaming up the elect into a ship and saving them. And that's what's going to be strange about it, because it tells you, I don't want to keep jumping around. Let me see if I can find it. 1 Thessalonians 4, in verse 17, it says, "Then we which are alive and remain should be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord." So how do a person get caught up into clouds to meet the Lord in the air? It's you getting translated up, you're getting beamed up, like they would say today. Kind of like when the Lord got took up. In the movie, they show the Lord leaving and being born into a cloud. His body is being raised into the air into a cloud, and that's the strangeness of our salvation. Right? Now back to Hebrews 6, verse 10, it says, "For God is not unrighteousness to forget." So the Lord is not going to forget us, man, because that would be unrighteousness, right? It says your work and labor of love. So we put in this great work. We put in all this labor. We showing the Lord that we love him. What's the love of the Lord? Keep his law, statutes, and commandments, right? It says, "Which ye have showed towards his name." You have to know his name in order to show this love and this labor towards his name, right? And his name is Yahweh, being the Father. He is this, right? And then Yahweh Shai, meaning he delivers, or he saves, So you got to know those names, It says, and that ye have ministered to the saints, and do minister. And we desire that every one of you show the same diligence to the full assurance of the hope and to the end. And that's very important. We all got to show the same diligence. Now, some brothers might be on fire more than other brothers, or go at a different pace than other brothers, but we can't, none of us could be lukewarm. We all have to have our soul or spirit in this, and we have to be on fire. We got to put these work up. this work of it. Just like what I'm doing right now. You got to do these sit downs. You got to get up and do this, man. Because the Lord is paying attention to this, you know. It says that ye be not slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promises. And then Romans chapter 9 tells you that those promises is only for the Israelites. It says, for when God made promise to Abraham, because he could swear by no greater, he swear by himself, right? Because he can't swear by no greater because he's the top, the most high. So he had to swear by himself, man. That's the great power. Saying, surely blessing I will bless thee, and multiply I will multiply thee. And so after he had patiently endured, he obtained the promise. So it's just an example, and it's going to continue going into it. It's just an example of the promise that the Lord is going to give it to us. Our Lord is going to come. He promised that he was going to come and save us. He's going to do that. It says, and so after, and for man verily swear by the greater, and an oath of confirmation is to them in an end of strife, wherein God willing more abundantly to show it to the heirs of promise and a multiplicity of his counsels, confirmed it by an oath. The heirs of promise, which is the Israelites. Go to Romans 9. It says these things pertaineth to the Israelites, the covenants and the promise. Right? Now I want to jump to Revelations chapter 3, verse 9. Behold, I will make them the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. You know, small heads claiming to be us. Vocab Malone, an agent, a complete agent. He's been shown, you know, he's been revealed to be an agent. You know, brothers that did videos showing him, saying that he was hired, you know, to come up against us. You know, do a little research on it. It says, and or not, but it don't matter because the Lord is doing it. You know, the Lord is controlling that. All he's doing is just making us go harder, right? And which is a good thing. It says, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. And he's going to end up coming to worship to our feet. The Lord's going to make that guy come worship, maybe to one of the elders or apostles. He's going to make that guy give up all the research that he was doing, all the force he was coming against us, and the Lord's going to make that guy come bow down and watch. And it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, or he's just going to put him to death. It says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, and try them that dwell upon the earth. Our Lord is going to be there for us, man. That's the faith, you know. You can't give up that faith because the Lord is going to be there for us, you know. It says, behold, I will come quickly, right? Hold fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. So just like it says in Revelations 2, verse 25, it says, but that which he have already, hold fast till I come. What do we have? The only thing we have is our faith, this word, which is our comforter, right? That's all that we have. We got to hold fast to this truth, this word, this doctrine, our faith until the Lord comes, so that no man take our crown. You know, if we endure to the end and we be the elect, we got a crown waiting for us. You could read about that in 2 Ezra chapter 2 of the Lord crowning the elect. And that's what we all want, right? It says, verse 12, him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of God, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of God, and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God, and I will write upon him my new name. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit say to the churches. And this is while we're doing this work, man, because we believe. You got to keep that faith all the way to the end. Our Lord is coming. Salvation to the elect. Shalom.